You are listening to Let's Talk Trio on podcast. Keep up with the latest episodes by downloading the Podbean app or stream episodes via our social media accounts. Search for Let's Talk Trio on Facebook or Instagram. This episode is sponsored by Student Access. Student Access, the leader in Trio software. Student Access is an online database solution that allows Trio programs to track their students' information, connect with students by text messages, streamline the APR, and work from anywhere, all online, with automatic updates for changes from the Department of Education. Their technical support team includes former Trio staff and has over 50 years of combined experience working with Trio. Make it easier to focus on your priority, the students. For more information and to request a free demo, visit their website at www.studentaccess.com or call them toll-free at 1-800-801-1232. That website again is www.studentaccess.com or 1-800-801-1232. Be sure to share your favorite episodes on your social media by tapping that share button. This is a great way to support the podcast. Now here's your host, Juan Rivas.
Thank you, Amelia, for that wonderful introduction. Hello, listener, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Trio. I am your host, Juan Rivas. In today's episode, we have Nohemi Lara-Miller, who is a former Trio Upward Bound staff from Eastern New Mexico University and is a graduate of New Mexico State University. Nohemi is on the podcast today to discuss her educational journey, her career experience, and her passion regarding volunteering. A huge thanks to our sponsors, Angelica Villalpando, Rosario O'Reilly, Jaded Electronics, and Student Access. Thank you all so much for your continued support of this podcast. You too can be a sponsor of the podcast. Head on over to Patreon and search for Let's Talk Trio. Choose one of 4 patron levels. You can support this podcast for as little as $1 a month. $1 a month goes a long way in supporting this podcast. If you would like to nominate a participant, staff, or alumni to be on the podcast, send us an email at letstalktrio@gmail.com. That email again is letstalktrio, letstalktrio@gmail.com. Again, a great episode featuring Nohemi Lara-Miller, who is a former Trio professional staff from Eastern New Mexico University Upward Bound program. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi, Trio Nation. My guest on the Let's Talk Trio podcast is a graduate of New Mexico State University, holding a master's degree in educational administration. She previously served the Trio program at Eastern New Mexico University as the coordinator and currently serves Clovis Community College as the project director for Title V. She is also from the Las Cruces area, the Chaparral, New Mexico area. Her husband is in the Air Force and has got orders from Cannon Air Force Base in 2019. She has a 10-month-old baby boy named Nathan. This is a new challenge for her as she is a working mom, obtaining a new job at CCC and being far away from her family. She's also an adjunct instructor at DACC and NMSU. She teaches her first-year seminar online. And she also loves volunteering and helping the military spouses at Cannon Air Force Base as a community outreach coordinator for the Military Spouse Professional Network, or MSPN. She's also a key spouse at Cannon Air Force Base, which that means that she's a volunteer appointed by the unit commander that serves as a reference of information providing resources to Air Force spouses and their families. Her and her husband love to travel and see new places, and now with their new baby boy, they like to take short trips. Welcome to the podcast, Nohemi Lara-Miller. Nohemi, welcome.
Thank you. Hi.
Thank you so much for being on the podcast. Thank you so much for giving us a little bit of your time today. How's it going?
Good. Doing well. Thank you. How about yourself?
Not too bad on this end. We're doing pretty good. For the audience, Nohemi and I have been trying to find a good time to connect and interview her for her Trio experience. So Nohemi, thank you so much for your flexibility.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for working with my busy schedule, I guess, and after the holidays. It was crazy.
Definitely. After the holidays, it gets very hectic. Times with family or just trying to find a time to relax. So I thank you again for taking this time to be with me today. So how are you? How are things in Clovis, New Mexico?
Doing okay, learning a new job, being a new mom, and trying to still like help and volunteer, helping others. So yeah, I'm staying busy, I guess.
Right on. It feels like, we had a very busy holiday this year. How was it for you? How did you and your family spend the winter break?
We went back home to El Paso, or Las Cruces area. I'm from Chaparral. It's a
Mhm.
little town, and we also, I guess, spent Christmas in Ruidoso, skiing for the first time. My
Oh,
sister.
wow.
So yeah, it was exciting. I fell twice, but yeah, that's okay, right? I'm learning.
It's part of the learning process, right? Falling down
Yeah.
when skiing.
I'll say I'm still learning, but yeah. And then we came back for New Year's, and we spent it here New Year's with the family and friends that came over to see the baby. I guess that's the new thing, to
Yeah.
come and visit the baby.
Congratulations on the baby, by the way.
Thank you.
So 10 months, right?
Yes, it's 10 months.
Wow. And this is kind of not in the script, but following up, what is it like being a parent now? Like, this is your first child, right?
Yes, first baby, being away from family, military family, it's like crazy. But yeah, we're doing well. I think we're keeping them alive. 10 months. I think that's good.
That's good. Very good.
Yeah.
So now that the winter break is over, a lot of colleges and schools are starting to get back into the swing of things, or are already in the middle of the new semester for spring. For you, what do you do to help you get back into the swing of things at work?
So funny thing, we're new morning people now. Like
Oh,
we
yeah.
wake up so early, but it's thanks to the baby because we didn't used to do that. We just stay in bed and watch TV and then relax and then go out and have breakfast. But now the baby keeps us like really early. So that's
Wow.
something. So it didn't change as much because with the
Mhm.
baby, our schedule's still kind of the same, but now crazy because we're running to daycare early in the morning, and then I go and visit him during lunch and then pick him up after work. So yeah, it's crazy, but back to the same routine, I guess. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think after a winter break, once your body gets to learn how to relax, and then you have to go back up into like working and having to do that schedule again, it's a little bit hard, but do you eventually get into the routine?
Yes. The first week, I needed lots of coffee, but yeah, we're back in track now.
So you love volunteering. Can you tell us, how did that begin for you? Why do you enjoy volunteering? Why do you like donating your time?
Well, it's a new thing, I guess, being a military wife, a new place you don't know. And I learned and met these new people, and then I wanted to do the same. I'm like, you know what? Now that I got the hang of the new town, what is it out here? I'm like, maybe I can help others. And yeah, that's something that I guess, new friends and people and nice friends, they're the ones that they I guess talk to me, and they're like, hey, how about if you help us with this, and how about if you volunteer with this? And I'm like, yeah, I love helping people, so there you go. So yeah, it worked kind of, I guess, good on our end, helping people, but now helping families, helping military, helping those spouses that their husbands are deployed and they're
Mhm,
far
mhm.
away. Thank God, I guess my husband haven't deployed yet, but yeah, I'm like, well, let's help him. And yeah.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. And I think good for you too, that you're looking out for military families and helping them during an adjustment period, because that's pretty hard. I imagine having a spouse or deploy, and then having a family member stay behind to watch a husband or a wife go overseas. And then you're having to, stay in the same spot.
Yes. And also, well, I guess I want to say thanks to my husband, because thanks to, I guess, our spouses, we're able to do that. Not only our job, not only at home, but also something plus, and something like volunteering, something on weekends. So yeah, thanks to, I guess, our spouses that, they support us.
Absolutely. So we are now in 2023, January, we're halfway into it. I like to ask guests about sometimes their New Year's resolution around this episode. So, do you set any New Year's resolutions for 2023?
Yes, I want to finish reading books that I have bought since last year, since last summer. They've been like my, I guess, goal, and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna read this book. No, and then I bought another one and nothing. So hopefully I can finish the books that I bought last year.
Yeah.
Be more active. I think there's a wellness program at CCC at work. I hope it's okay that I mention work.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, please.
Yes. So they have a wellness program, and they give us like up to 2 hours per week. So you can work out, or you can sign up for a class, or you can take a break and go and walk around. And I have never been able to, because I felt like I was a new employee. It's a new job. You have to learn. And then I step out because I have to go and visit the baby during lunch. So I'm like, it's too much. I'm like, no, maybe next year. So that's something that I want to do once he's a year old and take advantage of that wellness program. And take
Absolutely.
care of myself too.
Absolutely. So you mentioned reading. So this is something that I've been doing in the last 2 years. I've been trying to increase the number of books I read. What type of genres or what books are you reading that you're interested in?
Well, I have the new Michelle Obama book that I bought last year. So that's something that I've been trying to, I guess, get back to. And then there's one that a friend gave me, something about leadership, like being a good manager. And so yeah, those two, I'm like, I need to. Now I really need them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. So for me, January always symbolizes this turning of the page, a new year, new everything, it seems like. So for me, New Year's is my absolute favorite holiday. And like I said, every year I get the sense of this page turning to a new year. What about you, Nohemi? What is your favorite holiday?
I think I'll say Christmas. Christmas is my favorite one. We get a break from work, almost 2 weeks. And then for us, we get to go back and see the family. So run back to El Paso. So I guess that's my favorite time.
Wonderful. What is a lesson that 2022 taught you?
There have been like new challenges and being persistent, just keep trying. I think that's one of the things. This new job, it's an example of it. Like I saw the opportunity and I gave it a chance, and now I am here. Like, just keep trying. Like, you never know. I know it was like one of my, I don't know, something in mind that I had like since I got my master's degree, which was a couple of years ago. And I'm like, okay, maybe someday I'm going to find a job. And then, finally it happened. So new challenges, but also be persistent, like keep trying. It's okay.
Wonderful. Being from Las Cruces area, that must have been quite a shift for you and your husband and your family in total. What brought you to Clovis and Portales?
So as you said, my husband is in the Air Force. He got orders here, and that's why we moved out here. So not by choice. He got orders. We didn't know where Clovis, New Mexico was at. When he told me, I'm like, where's Clovis at? He's like, you don't know? No, I'm from New Mexico. I thought I knew my whole state. It turned out I didn't know what Eastern New Mexico was at or Clovis Community College was at. And so he got orders because of the Air Force, and we're here. And it's nice for us. We always tell this to friends and family. It's nice for us because we're 5 hours away from El Paso. Mm-hmm. So when I was working at public schools or so, they get so many holidays, and we were always going back to El Paso. Like, 4-day weekend, we were in El Paso because it's 5 hours. It's not that far.
It's relative, right? It's a 5-hour trip. It's short compared to others. I was from New Mexico, over from the Clovis Portales area. My mom still lives over there, and it takes about 12 hours to drive from Fort Collins all the way to Clovis, New Mexico. And I tell my friends here in Fort Collins, like, "Oh, I'm from Clovis," and they're like, "Where's that? Where do you mean? Where's that?"
Yes, and then my husband, his family's from Abilene, Texas. So
okay.
In between both families, it's 5 hours for both of us. So so that's why we like it here. We're not complaining. We love it here. We're close to home. So it's okay.
Wonderful. I know that we were going to discuss your time at ENMU here in a little bit during the podcast, but I would like to know, what is it about ENMU that you liked?
Being able to help. It's for first generation students. So just like myself, that's something that as soon as I saw them, I'm like, oh yeah, that identifies myself. Like that was one of those students. We don't know about college. We don't know because we're first generation students because our parents didn't go to college. And they're like, well, go and get your education, but I don't know how, but go. And you're like, well, who do I ask? I'm the first one. I'm the oldest one from the family. And I'm the role model for the siblings, but I don't even know like how do I apply. And so that's something that that I love, I guess, about ENMU Upper Bound. ENMU is close by here. It's in Portales, so it was like 30 minutes from home. So it was something close by, and still help people, it still help students, it still help those high school kids that they're lost, confused, they don't know what to do. So that's something that I like, I guess. So I guess that's in my background, passion, helping. Mm-hmm. So, but I miss the students too, though. I miss them.
Yeah. I think there's an attachment to students when you work in higher education, or even in a setting with like Upward Bound, where you'll always have an attachment to students, and you're going to always wish that they're doing very well and they're progressing. So that's awesome. So what's something that you miss about Las Cruces?
Oh, the food.
Oh, yeah?
The real Mexican food. My family too. The stores, the outlets, like going out to places, and something's like really like 20 minutes from home, short distance. Now that you have to drive like an hour and a half, and then it's Texas, it's a different time zone. And no, it's I guess just food and family and the places that you can go to. So yeah.
So let's rewind the clock a little bit. Talk to us about your upbringing and what was that like?
So I'm the oldest. I have one sister and one brother. So like I said, I'm like their stepmom. They always like used to make fun of that. They're like, "You're my stepmom." I'm like, "Yeah, you're so strict." And I'm like, "I want you to do better. I want you to get in school." And so my parents were very strict. I think that they were strict. Like they were the kind of parents that would not let you like go out to a party like really late.
Wow. Yeah.
I remember that there was one memory that my friend was from this little town, Anthony, New Mexico, and my parents will let me go to a quinceañera or a party or so. But at 11 p.m., they were already there at my friend's house waiting for me. And I'm like, probably now the new kids will be like, that's when the party started, like 11 p.m.
Yeah. I was going to say, like a lot of, I guess the younger generation would say, well, 11 p.m. is really when the party starts up.
Yeah. Those were my crazy parents. So wow. Even though we got back like 12 a.m., 1 a.m., they were already waiting for me there. So it was like kind of embarrassing, but I'm like, I know that I'm a mom. I'm like, I understand. They wanted
totally
me to freedom, but not really.
Right. Only the illusion that you have choice, right?
Yeah, so that's what I would say, that they were really strict. Like, they were the kind of parents that they'll be like, if you're not gonna go to college, you're gonna work, you're gonna make the money, and you're gonna pay rent for living here with us, and blah blah blah. So you're like, oh, might as well go to college then, because charge me for rent.
So it sounds like your parents. Is it fair to say your parents put a lot of emphasis and importance on education?
Yes. So we loved school. I was one of those, I guess, nerds that I love school. I remember in elementary, I got like a perfect attendance award or something because, I never missed school. And I didn't like to miss school. That was another thing. Back in high school, that's another story, right? But elementary and middle school, I loved it. Like, I didn't want to miss. Yeah.
So your attitude towards school is something very positive.
Yes.
So talk to us about your experience in elementary school. What was that like for you?
Oh, elementary, memories. I feel like I was always the new kid because my parents were always moving from one little town to another one in New Mexico. If I mention the little towns, maybe people will be like, what? That's the name of a town? Yes, we were always moving from one place to another. So I was always the new kid. Every year I was like, oh, there's the new kid. So I never had like those kind of friends that you grow up like, you go to high school, you go to college with, you keep in contact or so. No, because I had so many different, I guess, elementaries. But then when we moved to Chaparral, that's when, that was like a permanent home. That was most, and that was like in 6th grade, I believe. So, And then that was a new school that they built in Chaparral. Yeah. So I was no longer the new kid. Like all my other friends were new kids too. They're like, it's a new school and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, good.
Do you remember liking a particular subject?
In elementary, oh my goodness. I think I'll say history. Yeah.
History. Okay.
Yeah.
What was it about history that you liked so much?
Well, I was in this bilingual classes. I guess you can tell with my accent from El Paso. I was in this bilingual classes. So it was like, I don't know why. And I guess I need to ask those teachers back in the day, but it was like mostly Spanish and then a few English classes. And you're like, well, I guess I feel more confident with Spanish. So I'll keep it in Spanish. So you talk to your friends in Spanish, you talk to your teacher in Spanish, and then, you never get to practice, I guess. So, yeah.
So pre-show, I don't want to put you on the spot, Nohemi.
No.
You were nervous about how your accent would come across on the podcast. And I'm telling you, like, you sound great.
Thank you.
You're always very reserved about like accent and how you sounded.
Yes, yes. Back at home, it's like normal. Back at home, everyone speaks Spanglish. Everyone's like Spanish, I guess. The parents, they can order something at a restaurant in Spanish, and that's no problem. But I guess more up here, more north, yeah, like it's not bilingual. You don't really see it. They say they're bilingual, and you're
Mm,
like, yeah, they don't really know Spanish. They don't
I
really know how
see.
to translate something or talk to the parents in Spanish. So yeah, I feel like back at home, it's something I guess normal to see. But
Right.
yeah,
Okay. Do you have a favorite memory of elementary school?
elementary. I guess my teacher, Miss Montoya, she was like so nice. She was one of the persons that I guess that's why I loved and I wanted to become a teacher because yeah, she was awesome. She was really nice. And being a new kid, I guess she kind of helped me out too. Like, oh no, you're fine. It's a new town. It's a new school. It's okay. So yeah, yeah.
Did you get involved a lot in like other extracurricular activities during elementary into your middle school years?
No, I would not. I would say no. I was not that involved. I don't know if it was because the strict parents, they didn't let you like stay after school. Um, there were not many resources back then. I don't know what it was, but no, I remember that. No, I guess I'm trying to think. I'm like, which one? Which one was it? No.
No, yeah, yeah, yeah. What was your middle school experience like?
Middle school, that was in Chaparral Middle School. It was
Hmm.
a little, I guess, middle school back in my little town. I was no longer the new kid, so that was something cool and nice too, as well. I love my teachers. I remember Mr. Olivarri and Mr. Armendariz, and it was bilingual classes again. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think I was stuck with bilingual classes for too long until my counselor said, "You know what? You're back to English classes. You can go and
Yeah.
get English classes. They'll help you." So I remember we went to this field trip to Carlsbad, and
Hmm.
then Carlsbad, White Sands, and then Alamogordo. And it was so cool that summer. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. They take us like out of town, out of like El
Hmm.
Paso and Chaparral. And then guess what? The next year, I learned that that's where they take you every single year. That's like the field trips that they take you to because there's nothing around. So yeah.
Yeah.
So later on, I'm like, oh, this is boring. They're gonna take us to the same place again. So yeah.
So you said really not involved in a lot of extracurricular activities, but you and sports was. I recall saying in your notes that you don't really never were really into sports. So what were the things that you were into? What were things that you gravitated toward and you were really either not if you were not passionate about it, you were at least interested in it?
Well, never into sports, and I don't know why. I think it was the after school thing that maybe my parents were like, "Oh no, we don't have transportation. We cannot go and pick you up. We cannot go and drop you off like really early at this game or so." So funny thing, I just loved watching the boys playing sports. So that's
Ah,
something I
okay.
used to do. I'm like, I can't play the sports, but I'm gonna watch the kids play sports. So yeah, that was something. Running and PE was not my thing. If you meet me, I'm not into working out. I'm not into running. PE is not my thing. So no. So I don't know if it was like that thing too. Like I'm blaming it on my parents, but also myself. Like, yeah, I was not into it. Like, no,
Yeah.
it's a good thing. I remember I won the spelling bee though, the Spanish spelling bee
Oh
from
yeah.
5th grade all the way up to middle school. So yeah, that was something cool. So
That's
yeah,
amazing.
Spanish, I guess it had to be, huh?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What did you learn about yourself while in middle school?
I wanted to learn more. It was like that little nerd that it wanted to learn more, wanted to, I guess, keep learning. Maybe that's why I wanted to become a teacher back then. Yeah,
Hmm.
that was I guess, my dream. Like, oh, helping students become a teacher, become a bilingual teacher, and help these kids that are new, that they feel lost, that they're the new kid, and yeah, they don't feel like they fit into any little groups because everyone has their little friends, and so yeah, I
Hmm.
think that was one of the things about middle school that I learned about myself.
Can you talk to us about your transition to high school? What was that like?
So this one was at Gadsden High School. It's in Anthony, New Mexico. It's a little town in between Chaparral and El Paso, and it
Hmm.
was like 30 minutes from home. Our class was like 200 plus students for our senior class, so it was a big high school. It was all the little towns in the same high school.
Hmm.
So yeah, so that was something that when there was fights or there was like something like bad going on, yeah, because all of us got in trouble because it was so big. The high school
Oh
was so
wow.
big. But I think I did well because look at me, I'm here. I graduated from that high school because everyone back at home that hears Gadsden High School, they're like, oh no, that high school with problem kids, with fights, with gangs going on. But I'm like, no, it's as long as you, I guess, go to class and do well, you should be fine. Yeah.
Is that the type of reputation Gadsden High School had?
Yes, back in the day, that was something that, yeah, as soon as they heard Gadsden High School, compared to Las Cruces and El Paso was like the bad one because, yeah,
Oh,
there
wow.
were gangs. There were like, yeah, fights all over. And I'm like, no, I never got in a fight and I never got in trouble. So I think I did okay.
Wonderful.
And
Yeah.
and then I remember our graduation was at NMSU. We were like so many kids that our graduation was at the Pan Am at NMSU. It's where they play basketball, where they play the arena, where they play the concerts going on. So it was a big deal. So yeah, we were a lot of kids.
Very cool. Very cool. Did you do any extracurriculars while in high school?
No, one high school, no. The sad thing was that there was no more Spanish spelling bee at high school. So that was my sad thing. I'm like, oh no, that's the only thing that I can do. And then funny thing, there was this Spanish honors classes. And guess what? I enrolled into honors Spanish, of course. This Spanish speaker had to take her Spanish honors courses. So yeah, because I think it was like easy for me. And now that I think about it, I'm like, it was not challenging. So that's why I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to be in this honors class. It's going to help me with my, I guess, transcripts because it's an AP class, but it was Spanish. Like, why didn't I try something else?
I think, right, when we reflect on our high school experiences, we're like, I could have tried out for this, or I could have done that a little bit more. But I think that's our live and learn moments.
Right. Yeah. I'm like, why I didn't like challenge myself and go to, I guess, a French class or something else. But no, it was honors. Yeah. Presentations, I remember. And yeah, talking to friends. I'm like, I spoke Spanish.
So at this point of your educational journey, were you thinking about college or thinking about where you wanted to attend to either get an associate's or a bachelor's or beyond a high school degree?
Yes and no. When you're a first generation student and Spanish is your first language, you're lost and you don't know much about college life. Like you want to go to college, but you're like scared. You're like, oh no, but how am I going to do it? I'm the first one. My parents don't know. So I wanted to go to college, but nobody in my family knew like the process or that it was possible even. I remember talking to my parents and being like, oh, Dad, we need your taxes. This is the FAFSA. And he's like, are they going to charge me? Are they going to like send me something? No, Dad, they said that it's free and we just need to submit the application. And that would tell you like how old I am because it was a paper FAFSA. So back in the day, you submitted a paper FAFSA and you sign it. It was like, yeah.
I can relate to those. I submitted FAFSA. I remember still that it was a paper form.
Yes. So I'm one of those, a paper form that I had to submit that I met with my counselor and then my parents had to sign it. And then we did something wrong, of course. And then they sent it back. And yeah, I remember. So yeah. Well, we wanted to go to college, but we didn't know how.
Yeah. So now that things are easier, you see students going through the FAFSA now. Do you feel like the FAFSA is a little bit faster to fill out, or do you think there's still a lot of kind of gray area there?
Yes, it's easier. And then a funny thing or something about myself, I work as a financial aid advisor back at NMSU.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
This kid that was lost and did a paper FAFSA and didn't know what it said or asked about bank account and all that stuff that they used to ask. Yep. Now I became a financial aid advisor and now I was able to help those kids, those parents and be like, no, it's okay. And I know I'd ask this question, but this is what they meant. And this is why they need this information. It's fine. It's okay. So yeah, but it was, I guess, challenging. And now I understand those parents and students because they say it's difficult. It's hard. And I'm like, oh, you don't imagine how it was before. Like, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It was a different beast back then. It was
right. Yeah. And then you don't understand that. Like, you're like, why are they asking for taxes? Why are they asking how much Dad made? And yeah.
Right. Right.
And I was able to explain that to the parents and be like, it's okay. It's fine. You don't get in trouble. You don't. Yeah. They're just trying to see that financial need so they can help those students.
Absolutely. And I think that that's what takes, right? Some conversation with the parents to say, hey, this is not anything to go against you or to double check your taxes. This is none of that. This is just really you reporting your income and saying, this is how much I made for the year. Because I remember that was one of my dad's fears when I was in college and I had to report his income. He was like, why are you using this information? Am I going to get reported, or why are they double checking all the stuff that I submitted? And my director, my director at the time, Doris Anaya, she had to explain, like, no, it's not that they're double checking. They're just verifying that that's the information you submitted. That's it. So yeah, I totally agree with you. There's a conversation with the first generation parents that are trying to figure out, like, how do I talk to you about college? In that same vein, and a good segue to this, outside of your parents, who did you talk to about college? Were you thinking about talking about your counselor about going to college, or were you talking about others about going to college?
So it was this high school with 200 and plus students, seniors trying to go to college. So I think our counselor, and bless their hearts, well, they're busy. They have so many things to, I guess, keeping track of. But I remember that I took this college course, this college class that was there to help us with financial aid, with the admissions application, they took us like to visit NMSU. So that's something that I think it helped me. And that was the person that I remember talking to. It was my instructor for that class, and be like, this is the thing. I want to go to college, but I don't know how to do all this process. I don't know if I qualify. I don't know. And then, yeah, I remember that was one of the ones that I help us. And thanks to that course, I think that, because if not, imagine like waiting for a counselor until they see you, until they like, okay, take the time one-on-one. I'm like, oh no, It was not going to be possible. Yeah.
Totally. So were there a list of top colleges that you wanted to attend?
Now that I think about it, I'm like, I don't think I had an option. It was Doña Ana Community College. That was the only college that was in Las Cruces. So that was that was the college that I wanted to go, because my friends were going to go there. All of our high school graduation class that were talking about the ACC, and that's where I went. I'm like, that was the next step. And it was only because I was following my friends. I'm like, okay, this is where we're going.
I'm noticing a pattern with a lot of TRIO students is they are not only TRIO students, but students overall that graduate from high school, from the smaller high schools, is they go, my friends are all going to this one college, so I'm going to go there. And I would be remiss to say, right, like being from the Eastern New Mexico University Upward Bound program, ENMU Upward Bound definitely played a large role in me going to Eastern, but also seeing my friends going there made it more easier for me to make the decision to go to Eastern. So I imagine something similar played out for you.
Yes, that was kind of like, yeah. All of us, we went to DACC or NMSU because, yeah, that was the next step. That was the next, I guess, college or university in Las Cruces. So, yeah, there were a few of our friends that they went to UTEP. That's University of Texas at El Paso. And yeah, that was in El Paso. And we're like, but why Texas? But why another state? And then we didn't understand, like, yeah, you can go to another state. It's okay. They're not going to charge you as much. You're like within the less than 50 miles, maybe. Like, yeah. So I know maybe if I'll think about it, be like, why you didn't try something else?
So you ended up going to DACC, right?
DACC, yes.
What did you spend a lot of time there? Did you transfer somewhere else? Yeah, talk to us about that.
So I got my associates there because that was the thing. That was like the next step, go to the community college. So I got my associates. And then after getting my associates, I realized, okay, you know what? College is not that hard. It's not that difficult. I think I can get my bachelor's now. And then I was working as a business manager for this office, for this department. And I was like, well, I'm making the good money, but I think I need a title. I think I need my degree. So that's when I guess made the smart decision of getting my bachelor's and transition or transferring to NMSU.
Wow. So why NMSU? What said this is the school that you should go to?
It was the only one close by to Las Cruces. Yeah.
Okay.
Going to El Paso was never like in our mind. You can go to Texas, you can go somewhere else. No, it was the next one. It was the one that you can do the easy transfer from your credits from being in Las Cruces in New Mexico. Yeah, all your credits will transfer, and that's okay. So,
right on.
Again, yeah, I didn't think about going somewhere else or farther. No.
And we're going to continue talking about your college experience, but we're going to wrap up with your high school experience. Yeah. As you started your senior year for high school, what went into for you to prepare for college?
So preparing for college, again, I didn't know that you were supposed to do good in high school, get good grades, apply for scholarships, and then
Yeah.
that's you're gonna pay for college. I didn't know that. I was just having fun in high school, and yeah, barely passed my classes. So yeah, so that's something that I tell my students. I'm like, please do good in high school because you're gonna regret it. I know you're having fun, but you need to go to college, and that's gonna transfer. That's gonna reflect there. So yeah, so I guess getting ready for college, not really. I was just partying and yeah, having fun.
Uh, was there um, was there any preparation that the high schools did to help you all prepare for college?
Yes, that class really helped us a lot. As I
Hmm.
say that, I guess college. I would not remember what was the name, but yeah, they help us a lot. They took us to an MSU, like to visit
Mm-hmm.
school and
Hmm.
be like, okay, this is a university that you're gonna go. And then of course you're this little kid in high school, you're like, oh my gosh, it's so big. There's so many classes.
Hmm.
The stadium, the football stadium, it's so big. So that's something good, I guess, for those courses that they help you, that they take those kids and be like, look, this is what's gonna be like. This is the college. This is where you're gonna be going. So kind of like our opera bound programs that like trio. Yeah, that was one of those courses.
Right on. Talk to us about your high school graduation. What was that moment like for you?
Oh, it was emotional. It was fun. It was some of my friends were gonna go out of town. I remember like after that weekend, some friends were gonna move, they were gonna go out of town, they were gonna go on vacation. So it was like the last day that we were gonna see each other. It was like our last little reunion, all of this high school kids together. It was at NMSU, as I said. My grandparents from Mexico, they were there, so that was something I guess really I guess emotional and nice that yeah, this first gen kid made it, and it's getting a high school diploma, and my family from Mexico was able to come over and see me, so that was
That's
nice.
wonderful.
Yes, and then I have pictures of that special day of all of us, like yeah, crying because we were not going to see each other again, and yeah, some friends were going to move far,
Oh, yeah.
and yeah, so that was it was a nice day, I guess.
Yeah. Were you nervous about starting college?
Yes, yes, I was nervous because you just see it in the movies. You just see it like in TV, and you're like, oh yeah, these people, they go to this college that is so far away. They don't see their family. They move into the dorms. And no, I just went to a community college. So of course we didn't have that. So, but yeah, but I was nervous because like the classes, like they tell you, they're like, oh, it's gonna be a class with like 100 students, and yeah, you're not gonna be able to talk to your professor. It's
Mm,
different. No, it
yeah.
was not that bad. A community college, that's something that is nice about it. It's a small still classes, and yeah, a small little group of friends and classmates. So yeah.
Okay, so you attended DACC for your first year. What
Yeah.
were some of the thoughts that you were having as you started your first year at DACC?
Oh, tons of having DACC. Just working. I think I remember that I was just this basic kid, like always working, always like
Mm,
making the money and then going to DACC and then later
mhm.
on having in mind, I can transfer to an MSU. Wait a minute, I think I can go to the next one. I can go to the next, I guess it's levels. It's like community college and then you pass, you do well, and then okay, I guess you can go and get your bachelor's. You can go to the university. So
Wow.
yeah.
At what point did you realize in your community college career that you said, hey, I'm going to go ahead and pursue a 4-year degree?
Until graduation, when I was
Graduation.
again, talking about graduation and getting my associates, and so that's when I realized, you know what, I can do the bachelor's. I think this, I guess, first generation Mexican American kid can do well and can transfer and go to a 4-year program, and yeah, and get that bachelor's. I was making the money because I was already a department manager, but I'm like, I need that paper because what if I move? What if I go to another job? And yeah,
Right.
they can ask me, okay, you have the experience, you're good, but we need a paper. We need like your degree. So yeah, that's something. And then it took me forever because I was still working full time. I made the mistake of going part time to school. Like I was
Mm,
working full time because I was making
mhm.
the money. I thought that was the thing, make money first, and
Right.
then I went part time to school. So it took me forever to get my bachelor's degree. So yeah.
Okay. Um, Talk to us about the differences in experience for both the Doña Ana Community College and New Mexico State University. What did you like about them? What were some cons? talk to us about that, because that must have been quite a shift to go from
Right.
DACC and then NMSU. Talk to us about that experience.
They're like kind of close by. That community college is in Las Cruces, but it's really close to NMSU. So when you take classes around the ACC, you're able to see the campus from NMSU. So you're kind of like having that experience. But you always see these kids, and you're like, oh, I want to be like them. I want to be like going from one class to another, and then the library, and then studying there. When you're at a community college, you have a job. You're busy. You already have this professional job,
Certainly.
and you just go night classes or weekend classes online, and so it was a different transition than going to NMSU, going to get your bachelor's. It's a different experience, and I don't know if it's because I was lost, I didn't know what I was doing, I was busy, I didn't have the right direction, and be like, no, you can go to your bachelor's, like, don't wait. So after my associates, I'm like, you know what, I think I can go and transfer and get that bachelor's and get that other degree, and then move on and get a better job. That's something too. But it was not, I guess, different. Like in here, like Clovis and Portales is like a little far away, like good 30-minute drive. For us, it was like next door. It's like the next road, the next street, there's NMSU next door.
Right on. What activities did you get involved with while in college?
I was involved in student government. That's something that I remember. I became the vice president for this undergrad department. It was called College of Extended Learning. That's where I went to get my bachelor's from. Mm-hmm. And then also Kappa Delta Chi. It's sorority, of course, for Hispanics and Latina. So Right and most of them were teachers. So I think now that I think about it, I'm like, I was within that little group. Like we wanted to become teachers. And then, of course, I changed my mind, but it's okay.
You're always allowed to change your mind, right?
Right. Yeah. That's what I tell students. It's okay. I know myself. I wanted to do something. And then guess what? I changed my mind. It's okay. You don't know how many kids they change their degrees. So it's okay.
Absolutely. And speaking of changing degrees, did you have an idea of what you wanted to major in?
So as I said, first was teaching, and then I changed my mind. It was business because I was already a manager. So I wanted to learn something about business. So at the end, my bachelor's is in applied studies. So applied studies is more like an open degree, I guess, with different options. But then my minors are in business administration, and business management. So I think I still had like that in there. And then my master's is educational admin. So I'm like, at the end, I guess I kind of combine them all together, education, but also, managing, I guess.
Right on. Did you have to change your majors at all?
Yes. I remember that I didn't know what in business. So when you go in there and talk to your advisors, they're like, okay, business, it has like 10 degrees. Which one do you want? Accounting and administration, management. Oh, wow. Like, I thought it was just business and that's it. So I changed my mind. It was business office technology, what my associates was in. And then when I moved to, transferred to get my bachelor's, it was applied studies and business admin and management. So it was, I guess, changing them. But back in the day, I wanted to become a teacher.
A teacher, right? I can totally relate because when I started college, ideally I wanted to be a music education teacher. Was told that was not a good fit. And then I still wanted to go into the education realm. So like you, I wanted to be in teaching. So I'm kind of curious now. How did you find out about TRIO, and how did it become started working on the path of working eventually at that point?
So I knew about TRIO back in Las Cruces when I was, working as a financial aid advisor. I knew about TRIO because we worked together with them. I remember we worked with Talent Search. It's the little group that we work with. We got together like workshops and that's when we met the parents. So it was more like recruitment. Okay, these ones are going to go to the ACC or NMSU, but guess what? They're TRIO students as well. So we helped each other. So I knew about TRIO back in Las Cruces. And then when I moved out here, of course, I learned about Upper Bound and about Eastern. So but I knew about them because I worked with them when I was in Las Cruces. So so I guess I kind of had it in me. Like TRIO was the one.
Who were some advisors or mentors that you had while in college?
When college, Miss Hilda Chapo, I remember her. She was really nice, advisor. And then at the end, she was my supervisor because I was her work study student. So she was my supervisor. And then when I got my professional job as a financial aid advisor, we were colleagues. We were like her office was next to mine. So yeah, we were coworkers. And I'm like, what? My advisor when I was like so young and lost and didn't know what I wanted to do. Yeah, she's the one that helped me. And then Miss Kelly Hester too. She was from the College of Extended Learning. She's the one that helped me. I'm like, well, I want to get a degree, but I don't have the time. I'm already working. I'm going full time. Like, what are my options? And then she's the one that told me, this is the applied studies. You work on your own and you make your own plan and you choose your own classes as long as they meet this criteria. And yeah, she was a nice lady that helped me out. That way I didn't give out in school, because if not, I'm like, I cannot study. I cannot start all over again. I cannot like get a degree in teaching and it's going to take me like 10 years. No, I can't do that. Yeah. So it was one of a nice counselor that helped me.
Now, I know you alluded to it before in the podcast, but what kept you motivated to complete your degree? Because I know for you, it was, you got to get the degree, got to get the paper, you want to get it in hand. But what were some internal motivations for you? Why did you want to complete a degree?
Well, as I said, I was an office manager, and I saw that I still needed something. I think I realized, you know what? I think I'm smart. I think I can get a bachelor's degree. I think I can keep on going. So I think that's what I guess kept me motivated to continue to I guess transfer and do better. And as maybe some people will say, yeah, she's an ambitious person. That's why she got an associate's and went a bachelor's, and then she got her master's. Like, yeah, I was able to do it. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go for the next one. And you know what? I'm going to continue going. And
that's amazing. Talk to us about your college graduation. What was that moment like for you?
Well, it was a dream come true. Finally, I got my bachelor's degree. I finally did it. And it was something important. Believe it or not, I went to my graduation for my associate's degree because I thought that was it. I thought I was just going to get an associate's. I told my parents, this is it. Your daughter cannot get a bachelor's. This is all I can do. Just a tech school and that's it. And then no, like kept going. So bachelor's was a big deal for me. It was like something really awesome because I was able to do it. If you talk to me when I was in high school, I'll be like, what? Getting a bachelor's degree? No, just maybe a 2-year program and that's it. That's all I could do. Yeah.
Right on. Did you have an idea of what your career path would look like after graduation?
No, I thought I was just going to be a manager of this important department, organization, but never thought about higher ed was going to be my thing. I would not think that I was going to be visiting with students and helping them and being passionate about it. Like, yeah, I guess I didn't believe in myself. I didn't know that I was able to do it. So that's something you have to believe in yourself. You have to know that, yeah, if you can help people, if that's your passion, then yeah, you'll find that dream job. You'll be able to do it. So yeah.
I like that encouragement that you're sending out to the audience is if you find a passion and you're going to stick with it, you're going to find something in that field.
Yes. So finally, I think I did it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So now at this point of your educational journey, you're a graduate. What was next for you? What was something that you wanted to pursue?
So as an ambitious person, of course, I want to go and get my PhD. That's
amazing.
That is in my mind. I'm like, I want to do it. Of course, right now with the baby, maybe not yet. And it's something that my husband, he fully supports too. He's like, yeah, you can do it. I'm like, but I'm going to be busy. It's like 3 to 4 years of my life that I'm going to be like, yeah, reading and writing papers. And then I want to do something in higher ed. Like it's my thing. I'm like, yeah. I want to do something for these kids. I want to help those kids that they're just like me back in the day when I was lost, when I didn't know. I want to make a difference and help them. Yeah.
That's amazing. Earlier in the program, we alluded to your position at UNMU Upward Bound. What compelled you to apply for that position?
So when we moved here to Cannon Air Force Base, I worked at the Clovis schools. I was a recruiter, and I knew that I wanted to work in the higher ed. Like I knew not only because that was my degree, but that's something that I wanted to do. I wanted to help others. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to do something more, I guess. So I kept on looking, and when I finally saw the opportunity, I applied, and I applied for the specialist position. And then later on, I realized that there was the other one available, the coordinator job posted as well. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to apply for this one too. So when they called me for the interview, I had to tell the director, I had to be honest and tell her and be like, you know what? I applied for the next one as well. I don't know if that's going to be a problem or so, but I'm waiting for that as well. And of course, she's the director. She knew that I applied for the next one too. But yeah, so she's like, okay, let me contact HR and we'll let you know. And then the following week, I got an interview for that one. And yeah.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
That's awesome.
they're like, we love your interview. We love you. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, good. Yeah. And you're always thinking like, oh, am I going to do well? Is there going to be somebody with better or more experience than me? Somebody with a PhD maybe, but no, thank God I got it. So trio was everything that I was looking for. I remember reading it and I'm like, helping students. Yes, that's something that I love. Parents, workshops, talking to them, translating something to them. I'm like, yeah, I can do it. Financial aid, that was like the plus. I'm like, yeah, I have that experience. I was a financial aid advisor back at home. So yeah, it was like in my DNA, I think. I'm like, oh yeah, that's everything that I have done. So yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Talk to us about some of your favorite memories while working with Upward Bound. What did you like the most?
Oh, everything. There were so many kids. I miss them though. I miss that. I miss going on the trips with them. Going to places with them, teaching them, and I guess meeting with them, because you're like a mentor. You're like a parent, mentor, what else? Counselor. You're everything for this kid. So yeah, I miss them though. I started back in 2020 when COVID, I guess, was going on. It was the thing, COVID.
Yeah.
And the students had to log into Zoom meetings. They had to log into Zoom. They had to log into this Google Classrooms. They were not interested. They're like tired. Yeah. So you have to make it fun, but you have to like teach them something. You have to let them know, hey, keep going. Yes, you can do it.
Yeah.
Turn on your camera. Okay. So yeah, but I love it. It was something that, yeah, I miss them though. And helping, it's something that again, I did for like almost 2 years. So yeah, it was nice though. And the kids, they were so nice, so polite. Yeah. The parents too. Like now I see them at Walmart. I see them at the stores and they're like, yeah, Miss Lara, how you doing? I'm like, good. Yeah. So you said you're going to be there. That's
yeah. So you were there for 2 years. No, you're good. You were there for 2 years. What's something that you learned about being in trio? What did you learn? What did you like about being in trio? Yeah. Talk to us about that.
Well, I don't know. There were so many things, I guess. I didn't want to leave though. I wanted to stay there. That was something that, yeah. Or like if I was able to stay, yeah, I'll stay there forever. But no, I liked everything. There were some awesome kids and I learned so much and they teach you so much too. You think you know it all? No, those kids, they're smart. They teach you. Yeah. And also you learn about patience. You learn about you're going to have another meeting back to back. It's okay. Like, yeah, don't give up. You wanted to do this. Come on, let's go. You can do it. So yeah.
Absolutely.
And no, keep them, I guess, interested in school. And you have to give them and talk to them about your story and let them know, I went through this. It's normal. It's okay. And that way they can identify them. That's something, a plus, I think. If they can relate to you, oh no, that's awesome with them. Yeah. They're like, okay, you went through this, miss? Yes, that's normal. Yeah. I was lost. I didn't know. I didn't get always good grades. You're okay.
Right.
So, yeah.
So you left the position as coordinator from ENME Upward Bound for a different opportunity. Talk to us about that. What was your decision and why did you move on from being a coordinator?
So I had my baby and I was at home for 4 months. So I didn't had anything else to do for 4 months, just there with my baby. I guess you can understand that because you're a dad as well. Sometimes you need a break. So I saw the posting there for CCC and I always wanted to do more. And as an ambitious person, you always want to do more. You always want to do plus. And there's some jobs that you have to like transition and leave and sadly leave. Because but you want to stay there forever. You want to help these kids. But yeah, so I applied for this other job and I was thinking, oh, there might be somebody else with more experience. There might be somebody else with a PhD, maybe something that I don't have yet. And you're like, well, I'm going to give it a try. Why not? Let's do it. And yeah, I have the time right now. Let's write this letter and why not? And yeah, later on they called me and here I am as a project director. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? Are they sure they want to hire me? I have a master's degree in some years, but are they sure? Like they know? But yeah, it was something nice. It's something good. And that I guess former boss, like it's awesome. I knew that I wanted to help students and I'm still helping them, but I'm helping them in a different way. I think I don't meet with them one-on-one. That's something that of course I miss when I see somebody and they're like, oh yeah, we're going to have this financial aid workshop, this fair, this visit from the students. I miss that. I'm like, oh my gosh, But now I'm on the other side, on the back side of it. And yeah, I think I'm still helping them. I think I'm still making a difference. And you never know, maybe later on, I guess I'll move up to something else.
Yeah, absolutely. If you could do this life all over again, what would you do differently?
Oh no, there's always that thing, huh? I
Mm-hmm.
think I would do better in school. I think I'll remind
Oh, better
myself
at
and be
school?
like,
Yeah.
yes, do better in high school. Don't party too much. Don't have too much fun. Apply for scholarships. Get a good GPA because they're gonna see that. And yeah, I think that'll be something. I want to say no. I would not change anything. It's okay to learn, but no, it should be like yeah, do better than high school. Like yeah, that's something that yeah, don't party too much. Yeah.
Right on, right on. Um, what is something that you're currently into? Or sorry, no, let me back up. What is one word you would use to describe yourself?
I would say that I'm Latina and proud. Well, I guess that's more than one word. Mm, I'm proud of who I am, where I come from, and where I am today. I'm also thankful to my parents for the sacrifices and the hard work. I value the person I am today, and that will describe myself as a Latina and proud. Also, I love my culture, I love my traditions and my religion. Yes, I'm from a small town in New Mexico, and I attended a community college, but also it was not easy to get that undergrad and that master's degree. And Latinas, we're strong believers and we don't give up. We're also ambitious. I'm dedicated and loyal, but also passionate about my family, my friends, and my job. Like Selena would say, if you have a dream, don't let anybody take it away. And that's what can describe myself as a Latina who's proud of where I am, where I come from, the barriers and the struggles, but also I value the person I am today.
What is something that you're currently into? Either TV, books, movies, games, etc.
Books, as I said, but seems like for the past year, I have not finished reading those books. So yeah, I better get back to them. Watching TV, watching Netflix. I think that's addicting too. Like you sit on the couch and you turn it on and you just keep on going. You're like another episode, another one, another one. And yeah.
It's hard to unglue yourself from that, right? Especially with shows like Wednesday and various other shows that are coming out, like Stranger Things. It's hard to pull away from that.
Yep, we're already finished watching Wednesday. We're already
Oh,
watched,
did you?
like, Sandy, we're like, oh my gosh, yeah, we can't do this. I also thought that I was good into crafts, like DIY. I'm like, oh yeah, I can do crafts. I can work on my own. I bought a Cricut and I can do this. But oh my gosh, the time as well is challenging. And then with a new baby, I have so many screenshots on my phone. I'm like, oh, later on, I'm gonna do this. Oh, that one's so simple. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Oh.
Right.
So yeah, I think I've been too busy, but yeah, I need to find the time again and that routine. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what advice do you have for TRIO students that are thinking about entering an Upward Bound program, or maybe they want to go to college, but they don't know quite what to do? What's some advice that you have for TRIO students?
To do well in school, don't give up. Keep trying. Continue your education as well. That's something important. Don't, I guess, prefer money only versus obtaining your degree first, like just like I did. Like, no, it's okay to work and make some money, but also your priorities, it had to be school, it has to be college. You have to get that degree because you never know. And if you don't know something or you have a doubt, always ask questions, meet with your advisors, meet with your mentors, talk to them. If you're going through something, talk to them. They're always there for you. Apply for scholarships as well. They're worth it. Like I know some of my students were like, oh no, it's so long. And they asked me for this essay and I need to submit this. Try it, give it a try. It will be worth it at the end. I promise you guys. And don't feel scared to apply to many different colleges. You never know. That's something that I kept on telling my seniors. And I'm like, oh, you have this 4 options, apply to the 4 of them because you never know. And at the end, you make the decision what college you want to go, not them. And don't do it like me. Oh, only NMSU and that's it. No, come on, you can do it. You can leave home and you can go to another state. It's fine. So yeah,
absolutely.
That's something that maybe I would tell them.
That's great. What about advice for TRIO professionals that might be listening to this podcast?
You all are doing a great job. You guys are awesome. There's some days that you think that this workshop, maybe it's not worth it. Maybe it's so many presentations. Are the students or parents, are they really learning something? Like they're really going to go home and be like, oh yeah, they got this. Yes, it is. Like these parents or these students, maybe they would not know it yet, but at the end, yeah, it's going to help them. You don't see it, but you are going to make a difference on those students and those parents as well. Because thanks to those parents, those kids keep going too. They need the mom and dad's, I guess, support. So yeah, so don't give up. Trio professionals, don't give up. Keep going. Yeah, I know it's hard. I know there's some days that you're like, oh my gosh, no, I need to meet with like 10 students at a time. Yes, keep going. You're making a difference in this kid. So yes, you're doing
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Nohemi, it was such a pleasure to have you on this podcast. I hope we can get you on again here soon.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you for contacting me and reaching out. And I know it was a busy schedule after holidays, but thank you. And I hope my story helps some students and they don't get, even for those kids that they're lost and confused or they don't know what direction to go to after high school, hope it helps them or helps as an inspiration for them. This, I guess, lost and confused first generation student, Mexican American with this Mexican accent from El Paso. I can't, I guess, get rid of it. It's here with me. She did it. Look at me. I got a master's degree and I didn't know I was able to do it. I didn't know I was going to continue, I guess. And look at me. Now I want to go for a PhD. So yes.
Amazing. And we wish you all the best for your future endeavors. You're doing great. And the podcast, I'll tell you right now, the episode sounds great.
Thank you. Hopefully I didn't, it was not too boring for some people.
Oh no. If they made it around this long, they're interested in your story.
Right.
Nohemi, that's what I'm saying. So Nohemi, the Let's Talk Trio podcast has a tradition. We typically have the guests sign off at the very end of this program. Do you care to do the honors?
Yes. So this is Nohemi Lara-Miller. I'm a grad from New Mexico State University. I was a former trio professional and currently I serve as a project director for Title V. Shout out to my husband, to my family, to my friends, to my parents, maybe if they're listening to us. And yes, trio works.
That was our guest, Nohemi Lara-Miller, former trio professional staff from Eastern New Mexico University's Trio Upward Bound program. Nohemi, thank you so much for being on the podcast and for sharing your trio story. Remember, if you would like to be on the Let's Talk Trio podcast, or if you know a staff, advocate, participant, or alum that could be on the podcast, send us an email at letstalktrio@gmail.com. Again, that email is Let's Talk Trio, all one word, letstalktrio@gmail.com. A huge thanks to our sponsors, Angelica Villalpando, Rosario O'Reilly, Jaded Electronics, and Student Access. Thank you all so much for your continued support of this podcast. I'd like to take a moment to thank our honorary members of the Let's Talk Trio podcast, Roderick Chambers, Tony Ho, Scott Kendall, and Susan Cramp. The Let's Talk Trio podcast team is John Russell, audio engineer, music producer and composer, and post-production editor. Amelia Castañeda, script supervisor, marketing manager, social media manager, and producer. Juan Rivas, executive producer and host. This episode was recorded Saturday, January 14th, 2023. Thank you all so much for listening, and we will catch you on the next episode.